Today we'll be talking a little bit about planting up some late hanging baskets. And late meaning it's late spring, early summer, so it's not too late to go up and plant up a hanging basket for yourself, right?
Right. Greenhouses are still open. Some might start getting to the end of their season, but that doesn't mean that you can't go in, get some beautiful plants, and plant up your own baskets.
Yeah, and for us, that's really how we do it in stages of hanging baskets, right?
Yeah, so we start out, in the beginning of the season, and if you've been following us, you'll see the greenhouse go from almost nothing to just these beautiful, huge baskets. And what we do is, as those baskets sell out, we continue to plant baskets. So they're all at different stages. So there's some that are just massive.
Some of these are getting really
and
big.
Some of these are getting nice and full.
Yeah.
There's some that are even bigger than this.
Oh yeah, way bigger.
And then there's some that are this size. And, still beautiful basket. But this particular one is going to get huge.
Yeah,
just huge.
This is a 12-inch hanging basket. It's going to get 4 feet in diameter, and it'll be massive, and it'll be, there's lots of potential. So think of this hanging basket, even though it's a little bit smaller at this point.
Right.
This is like buying a St. Bernard puppy. You can't judge it by its size. This is going to get really, really big. And
it's just that it's our third or fourth planting of the season.
Yeah.
Because we can't fit all the baskets. You only have so many square footage of cover, and so we stage it. And that's what, towards the end of our season, you'll see the baskets be actually this size because it's a third, fourth stage. But it's a perfect size because you get to watch all the growth come off of it.
Yeah, and honestly, in a few weeks, you're not going to know the difference because now our days are longer. We're getting more sunshine. The temperature is warmer, and these hanging baskets will really take off quickly. Versus when we started planting in February, and our days are a lot shorter. It's colder.
Yep.
We're heating the greenhouses. Well, now at this stage. These hanging baskets just grow so fast. So it's really quick. I'm gonna plant up this 12-inch hanging basket, and we've got some of these Proven Winners lovey-dovey's, and they might look a little bit scraggly, but that's just because they're sitting in a tray and they're competing against each other. So don't worry when you see a plant like this. I have a lot of customers that will be like, can you pick out the best one? I don't know about this one. And honestly, to me, it doesn't matter because I know in a week, 2 weeks, this is just gonna explode with growth, and it doesn't matter. No, we do not trim these back because you really don't need to. If you're fertilizing with the Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer, this plant is gonna absolutely explode with growth, and in a couple weeks, this thing is just gonna get huge. So I pick out a plant like this, no big deal. It's going to go in good soil, and that growth is going to be so fast.
So this is the Proven Winners, and this is going to get
so
very
this is the
large.
lovey-dovey.
And aren't these beautiful? They're such a nice, healthy plant. These are the Easy Wave Petunias, fairly inexpensive. You'll have to use more of these per each one of the vistas, but they're gorgeous plants, and they're going to be nice and full. So there's such a selection at this time of the year of what you can use.
And early on when we're planting in a 12-inch hanging basket, we are typically putting in 5 super petunias like
Correct.
These. I could just barely fit in 5 if I wanted to. I'm only going to put in 4, and the plants are so much further along in growth.
Look at that root system.
Yeah, it looks great. Again, goes back to good soil. It makes all the difference in the world. So I'm just going to plant these and get these in here. I've got a little too much soil in here, so I'm just going to take some out. And I don't want my soil being like mounded, because when I water, it's just going to shed right off. So I do want to make sure that I have a little catch basin. And these petunias are really tangled together. Just pull them. They will grow back. If something breaks off, it's not a big deal. I think most people would be horrified if they saw how we plant because I mean we're doing this commercially, so we can't sit there and spend time, you know, with 3,000 hanging baskets of loving and massaging.
And if you noticed, he did not break apart those roots at all.
And why?
Because you're planting it into good soil.
Good soil. You don't need to break up the
Let me
roots
take this away from
if
you.
you're using good soil. It's hanging off there. So, and then I'm just gonna put this hanger on. I don't like to have the hanger in the way, but I mean that's how fast it goes for, you know, a 12-inch hanging basket. Put in 4 of the super petunias. We're gonna fertilize right away, get this going, and actually, with a plant like this, I'm gonna fertilize probably 2 to 3 times a week.
Can we do this?
Sure.
So you're not going to trim them back at all?
Yeah, because they're scraggly because they're competing against all the other foliage, and then we pulled that apart, so they look a little scraggly right now. But now that it's on its own in a bigger container, these 4 plants are gonna just explode with growth, and that's all gonna fill in. So that competition isn't there where we had it in the tray. So I don't need to trim this back. You could if you want. It's not gonna hurt anything, but you don't really need to. So
because it'll have more growth that comes from the center, and then it's not just going to come down; it's going to grow.
this whole thing is going to be a big
Right.
ball of flowers and the plant foliage. So this lovey-dovey, this is a great series. We love it. It's very full, so extremely mounting. You're not going to see that hanging basket at all. This gets to be a very nice plant.
This is a great example of, we planted this up. This was a 3rd crop, so that would have been like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And look at this basket. Isn't that just beautiful? And it has not even reached its potential
Oh
yet.
yeah. Again, you're not going to see that hanging basket. You're not going to see the pot underneath. This whole thing is just going to fill out and just really look impressive. So I love the colors on this one. So this was over the top, the series. So it's got the verbena, it has the petunias in there, and then it has the calibrachoas. So it's just a combination, and it's really stunning. I picked out this one for me.
I know you like this one.
Yeah.
And when you're planting them up, make sure that, you know, that's a great time to go through. The verbena needs to be taken care of. You know, trim back anything that you think should be trimmed back as far as taking off a lot of the blooms. That'll just put more energy into those roots as they grow.
Yeah, stay on top of it. If you have a planter with verbena, stay on top of it. I always tell our customers, okay, remember Fertilizer Friday, so that you remember that you're fertilizing with the Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer. But if you have a hanging basket or a container with verbena, I tell them on that Friday, you go through and you clean up this verbena so that the verbena is always fresh. Clean it up and just stay on top of it, because then you always have nice fresh verbena growing instead of it all grows at once and blossoms and then it all dies off at once. So when you have verbena, just go through, clean it up about once a week.
Right.
With the petunias, you know, the super petunias, no, you do not need to deadhead them. These big hanging baskets, we don't deadhead them at all. None.
We'd spend all of our time doing
Oh
that.
yeah, we would never be done with it. So that's as simple as it is for planting up some early summer hanging baskets. You're not too late. Get out to your local greenhouse and garden centers and go ahead and plant some up, because boy, in a couple of weeks you'll have a big, beautiful hanging basket that'll last all summer long.
And I love when we have that 3rd, 4th crop that they're a little bit smaller, because you get to see just how, you know, people come in and they're like, oh, it's overgrown, or, you know, it's too big, or
Some
all
people,
the
yeah,
different things. You know, they think that it's expiring soon.
yeah.
And
Like
it's
not
not.
gonna, it's not
Right.
it's not milk. It's not going to go bad, you know, just because they're big. You've got all summer long. Petunias can
But they're-
handle
but
down to
they're-
about 26 degrees.
They're
So.
also manageable enough to get in vehicles.
So some people do like this little bit smaller hanging baskets because they're taking, you know, a half
Quite a few
dozen
of
of
them.
them or whatever to bring back wherever.
So we have quite a few of that later crop,
Mm-hmm.
which is great for a lot of those weddings that are coming up to decorate the yard, a lot of outdoor weddings. So yeah, check out our greenhouse, check out other greenhouses, and you know, see what they have, and don't be afraid to plant up yet this time of the year, or to buy a basket that looks a little bit smaller, knowing the potential of how big it's going to get.
Yep. With good care and fertilizing with the Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer, that's going to give that growth, and those hanging baskets are going to look beautiful. They will catch up very, very quickly. You'll be surprised. So be sure to watch our other videos on our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of how-to videos at our Sharkey's Greenhouses YouTube channel, and whether it's watering or soil or planting, we have literally hundreds of videos there at our Sharkey's Greenhouses YouTube channel. And also, if you go to our beatyourneighbor.com website, we have our blog articles and tips and tricks, and of course our Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer. That's all over at beatyourneighbor.com. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.